Welcome to the Biz Bash podcast, where we make biz strategy a piece of cake. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cami, but you might know us better as Eliza Ann Calligraphy and Cami Monet. We want to help you, our fellow stationers, artists, and calligraphers, confidently build a profitable and personality-driven creative biz.
We're here to share our honest-to-goodness advice and actionable strategies for ambitious artists.
So put on your party hat, quit being a procrastinator gator, and let's get this party started.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Biz Birthday Bash podcast. It's Cami and Elizabeth here, your biz besties, and we are doing another Q and Cake. So Q and Cake is where we answer questions that you guys submit at bizbirthdaybash.com/Q and Cake. So if you have questions, go ahead, submit them there, and we will answer them on the show. So these are like our little quick fire lightning round podcast episodes. So I'm going to go ahead and ask the first question. So the first question comes from @Ink and Vellum, and this person says, how do you find the right hashtags to use for your posts to gain more traction? I've recently started posting my wedding suites, but not getting much attention.
Oh man, hashtags are such a fun one. I feel like they have changed so much over the years too, because it used to be so easy to be found via the right hashtags, and the algorithm has just busted all that right up.
I know. Hashtags, I don't even know if hashtags are as important anymore in the algorithm. Just who even knows? Like, Instagram puts weight on so many different things, and are people scrolling through hashtags as much now? I'm not sure. But I think for using hashtags, I think it's good to get really specific, because I think you can sometimes get lost in like the hashtag custom wedding invitation or hashtag wedding suite kind of thing. So being like hashtag pink and green wedding or something like that, with a little bit more specific, could be a good way to go to get more traction. I noticed when I started doing like more specific, or using the word aesthetic in the caption, or not the caption, I'm sorry, the hashtag, like hashtag mountain aesthetic wedding or hashtag mountain aesthetic, like those types of things seem to be getting more traction for me when I use that type of hashtag. So maybe trying that instead of the ones that have, like invitation, which is going to have like 5 bajillion posts. Mm-hmm. So maybe just playing around with it in terms of drilling down a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely narrow down, because I think when you are looking up hashtags, you can see how many times one has been used. I think they still show you that information.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to be in a hashtag group that has a million other posts, because you're going to get drowned out among that really quickly. And I want to say too that Instagram is only one part, a very small part of a marketing strategy for your business when it comes to weddings. So keep posting on there, because people definitely go back there to take a look, to see if you're active, to see if your portfolio is up to date. I heard a wedding planner say the other day that the first place she goes and looks for vendors' portfolios isn't even their website. She goes to their Instagram. So it's good to keep things up to date for sure. But in terms of like gaining more traction on your posts, just keep posting and staying consistent, but don't get so hung up on having like the perfect, absolutely perfect hashtags or anything like that.
Yeah, now Instagram is putting more weight on like the saves and the shares from your post. So if you have something that like people are saving because it's like a really good bit of information or something really inspiring or like a really cool something that they probably weren't going to show to someone else, be like, can you make this? Like when I post like a map, I always get like really good traction because I can see more people are saving it. So things that are like savable and shareable, think of it that way for your post. It'll like help you get some more engagement on there, because Instagram definitely prioritizes that over likes now.
Yep.
Which sucks, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's a whole another thing, Instagram in itself. All right, the next one is from @Melissa_and_7th. And she asks, for sales tax, do you charge it on the total price of the stationery or just the material cost? I've heard that you don't need to charge sales tax on service-based businesses such as graphic design, and I can't figure out if I should include the time I spent designing into my calculations. Thanks.
Okay, so I don't charge sales tax on wedding invitations because they are a service. This is like a gray area, I think, with taxes, because it's like technically you're providing a material at the end, but I still consider it a service, so I don't charge sales tax. This might be wrong. Sales tax stuff stresses me out.
Yeah. It is very hard to figure out, for sure. Definitely challenging, because if you're mailing out the invitations on behalf of the client, I've had this conversation with my accountant before. It's like, then pretty much all of it is a service, right? Because like something is delivered to each guest, but like the client themselves like doesn't really receive a final product. They get a couple copies for their wedding day and for the photographer and the planner and all of that. Honestly, if you wanted to be on the super safe side, definitely consult an accountant in your local jurisdiction and area to see what the laws are. However, my accountant said a couple years ago, we had this conversation and she was like, I'm not going to lie, like, to be on the safe side, you probably do want to be charging sales tax on the materials, just on the materials, not the service-based part of the business. So if you're charging $1,000 for your design fee, $2,000, $3,000, whatever that may be, that would not be taxable.
Yeah.
However, the materials part of it would be taxable. But it gets very complicated and confusing. So like really the best advice we could give is consult with someone in your local area that knows the laws, because I think states are shifting things all the time. And now states are really even trying to push more towards, they're trying to figure out how to tax like online businesses and services and all this great stuff. So who knows what they'll tax next.
And I feel like accountants don't even agree. Like they don't even, like it's such a gray thing that they don't even agree on which one it is. So maybe ask a couple and just get some insight. But it's like such a gray area. I hate this question. Thanks a lot. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
it's a tricky one. Yeah. Faux show. Okay. So there's that. And then let's go to the third one. In a little over 1 month, I'll be taking the leap and going full time. I can't wait to have infinitely more time to focus on what I love. Yay! But I'm not excited about trying to get my name out there and market myself, especially on Instagram. Oh, Instagram, such a bear. It's unrealistic that I really don't want to spend an hour or two every single day trying to figure out the algorithm and become an influencer. I can see myself getting Instagram burnout really quickly, which is the last thing I want. Is there a way to market myself without feeling icky? How much time/energy per day should I put into marketing on Instagram or elsewhere? And this is from @ArielG.Bearden.
Another loaded question that connects to the first thing we talked about.
I know. You plan these really well.
Social media is so fun. You can take a couple different approaches. You can take the jump all in approach, but it sounds like you are definitely more on the side of not wanting to drown a bunch of time a day into this app, which I totally understand. So I would just start figuring out maybe like a posting schedule, or maybe you say, you know what, my goal is to just post a photo of my work one time a day. I'm going to post it and leave it, basically. You don't have to be doing anything crazy. You don't have to be doing reels or whatever else it is to like try to get attention and try to get Insta famous. But gosh, it really is wild to think about like how Instagram is just becoming more and more like TikTok-y. It's so weird.
I know. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. I know.
And I notice it too in the way that I consume Instagram. I watch videos on Instagram most of the time now.
Oh, I still don't watch videos on Instagram. Well, except for stories. I don't like looking at the reels. Like I just would rather look at everyone's posts because I feel like my people are not doing reels. So I want to see like the people in my life. You know what I'm saying? And like the reels are people I'm like, who are you? Why are you? I don't know. But like, yeah, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do in your business. I mean, you know, except for like pay taxes. Nobody wants to do that. But you don't have to like spend 2 hours marketing on Instagram by any means. You can, you know, set up like Elizabeth did, where she did like 3 posts a week that were planned and like ready to go and like literally didn't even have to think about it. She did that for a good while. Like I enjoy posting on Instagram, so it's not like that big of a deal for me, but something that helped me just kind of like get out of the idea of like, oh, I got to market and work on this grind is like every little thing you do on Instagram is like another tiny little drop in the marketing bucket. So if I leave a comment on a wedding planner's post or like a store that I want to be in, like if I like their post and be like, oh, love the way this looks or whatever, that's just another little tiny drop in the engagement bucket that moves my business just like 1 millimeter forward. So even just something as tiny as one comment can help you market your business. You don't even need to go through and like like 100 things or post 100 things or do 100 reels. You can literally just like leave a comment and actually be a real person. And like that's moving the ball forward just a tiny little bit. So maybe that takes like the pressure off if you just think about it that way, that everything is just like a tiny little drop in the bucket.
Yep. I totally agree with that. That's a really good way to put it. And yeah, and just back to the note about like not feeling icky. Cami, I feel like you do such a good job with that because you're like, I'm just showing up here as myself. Like, here's what I'm doing today. Okay, cool. Have a good day. Bye, guys. Like, and you just kind of like go off and do your thing. And there's not this like, you can tell there's not this like planned like marketing spin, that you're giving. Yeah. You're like, I'm just here to talk about this because I love it, which we talked about a lot in the like personality driven business, the Achievement Unlocked episode that we did.
Yeah. I think that would be a really good one for you to like go back and listen to, because that was all about like what clicked for me in terms of like not feeling salesy on Instagram, but just like I'm sharing with this because I love it and I want you to love it too. And people love that enthusiasm. I really truly get like so many DMs being like, I love seeing your stories every day and like things you're talking about. Like, it's just so fun. Like, things like that. And I'm like, I am literally, my goal is for you guys to buy something from me, like at the end of the day, but I just go on there and have fun. And so it doesn't feel like marketing to me. It doesn't feel like marketing to my audience, but that's technically what it is. And that's where that whole, like, this is just another drop in the bucket. If I get on here wearing a stupid cabbage hat filter, that's a drop in the bucket on engagement. Like, that's all it is. It's just like, I don't take it as seriously as like, here's my marketing plan. I'm going to do 5 posts a week and they're going to have this much engagement, or I need to tweak this. It's just more about keeping things light for me. And that's what keeps it enjoyable. So it's not so much like a chore in my business. It's more just like a fun extension.
Yes, absolutely. I love thinking of it that way. It should be a fun extension. It should not be what you're relying on to create everything, to generate all the revenue in your business and to do, to build your business specifically only on Instagram. It's just, it can obviously like still be done. We have all built businesses because we've utilized social media, but that should never be your one and only plan.
Yeah. And like in terms of if you don't want to feel icky, just like, that's just something in your head. I'm just going to put it out there. Like, I promise you, sometimes I feel icky because I'm literally talking about myself like 24/7. I'm like, gosh, I look so conceited all the time. All I'm doing is talking about what I'm doing and this is going on, like what I'm selling. But like no one else thinks that. Only you think that. So don't worry about feeling icky, because honestly, half the time people aren't even going to see the stuff you're trying to do anyway. So you're going to drive yourself crazy. That's just a little thing, because you're like, I talk about this all the time. People are like, what? I never even saw this. And I'm like, how did you not see this? So just let that go, because I promise, even if you feel icky, no one else is thinking that at all.
Yeah, no one else is thinking it for sure. We're so used to being marketed to all the time anymore that it's like we don't even think of it or realize it,
Yeah. Exactly.
But there are occasionally instances where I'm like, oh, they got me good, because I'm like going to like buy those right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been influenced.
You've been influenced, I know.
Hey there, fellow stationers. Are you creating custom invitations and still sending a lackluster contract that's hacked together with Google searches and generic templates? We've got you.
We've created a custom stationery contract written for stationers by stationers, and it is lawyer reviewed and approved. #LegalRockstar. The custom stationery contract template covers every stationery snafu, protects you and your client's interests, and sets up an expectation of professionalism. We've combined our previous contracts as well as years of experience to bring you a contract that covers your booty and your biz. Become a put-together pro and breathe a sigh of relief knowing that you have a contract that is easy to understand and avoids confusing legal jargon.
The custom stationery contract template is only $297, which is much less than what you can expect to pay anywhere else. And it's written by 2 gals who have seen it all.
Spoiler alert, it's us.
It's time to do things right. Go to bizbirthdaybash.com/contract to purchase and download your copy today. And as a special treat, use code PODCAST2020 to get $20 off. And that's podcast all caps 2020 to get $20 off.
Woohoo!
Okay, next question is from Alyssa of Respira Ardem. Am I reading that right? Respira Ray.
Oh gosh, you guys and your fancy Instagram handles.
Yep, the Instagram handles are hard because it blurs all the words together, but it's from Alyssa, and she says, "Hi guys, as I'm starting to wholesale my prints, I'm finding that a lot of retailers require me to barcode my products. The research I've done has left me very confused as to the fact there are so many steps to this process, and they're completely foreign to me. Do you barcode your products for wholesale? If so, could you please talk through that? Thank you so much. I've learned so much from you already and really appreciate your help."
Alyssa, I hate to disappoint you, but I know nothing about barcoding products because I've never done it. I don't know what large retailers you're working with, but if you are working with fairly large ones, they will have like that like whole guideline of here's how to do it. And I know it's very confusing. Honestly, the best resource I can recommend for this would be Katie Hunt from Proof to Product. And she has Proof to Product labs where they have basically like a mastermind on this type of stuff for like barcoding products and figuring all those things out with working with bigger retailers. So that is who I would recommend for looking into things like that, because I just don't have any insight because I've never had to do this. And I'm going to avoid it as long as I possibly can.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, that
you
is
can
good,
do
to
it.
be
You can do
honest.
it. Just follow the steps. And you know what? Just ask them. Like if those retailers are giving you these steps, just ask for clarification. I'm sure they don't expect you to be an expert. It's okay to follow up and ask questions. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yep, I agree with that completely. We will come back if we ever have more information about that, but at the prior moment, we do not. Okay, Cami, you want to read the last one?
Yes. This one says, "Hey, ladies. Hello. Just wondering if you might have some tips on starting a partnership business. Me and another local stationer have been thinking about joining forces. We're still in the beginning stages of it, and truthfully, we don't know where to start. Thought you might have some good tips since the both of you run the Biz Birthday Bash and have made it so successful. Thanks so much." At Momento Design Studio.
Woohoo! We have so many great fun things to say.
Yes.
I mean, if you guys think that you are going to work well together, then definitely go for it. I would say for Cami and I, it was pretty easy to see from the very beginning that we both had similar intentions. We both just like aligned in where we wanted to go in terms of what we wanted to teach people and what we wanted to talk about. And we almost like kind of fell into it naturally, which is sometimes like the best way for it to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say like make sure that you have just spent a lot of time with this person. Cami and I had been in touch for a year before we finally met in person. And when we met in person, it was just to do a free webinar. That's when like Biz Birthday Bash was kind of sort of born, but we didn't even really officially start it till like 2018. And so it was a long process. Yeah. So just make sure that you are aligned with this person, that you're on the same page, that you know that you can bear them.
You have to like them, you know.
You have to like them. You have to be able to discuss things well and understand each other's personalities. And like Cami and I are very fortunate in that our biggest fight, quote unquote, we ever had was whether or not headshots should be squares or circles on our website. So, you know, yes. It's the dumb things that kind of come up. But as long as you can navigate those and work around them, then definitely do it. In terms of like making it a legal partnership, I mean, you can be a partnership for a long time as long as you guys are both claiming income like 50-50 into like your own businesses. It's kind of like an unofficial partnership. But then Cami and I eventually decided to start an LLC for Biz Birthday Bash, and we made it an S Corp. So we're both on payroll, which is wild. We are our own employees.
It's very weird.
It's very weird. But if you are thinking about doing it, I know you guys probably hate it because I default to this, but just talk to a local accountant about like your next steps.
Do you have a question? Just talk to your local accountant.
Because there's so many different steps to take depending on where you're going to, you know, found the business and what state you guys are in and getting a business license and all these fun things that you have to do. So
all the fun legal things that you have to do to make it legit. But yeah, we also have an episode about this too, just in terms of like how to work together and like kind of navigate that and start off on the right foot. We have a whole episode all about that. I don't know which one it is, and I don't know what it's called. So that's very helpful.
I think it's called How We Work Together.
Oh yeah, like How We Work Together. I think it's from a while ago. That's all I know. But basically the things you should look for, and like Elizabeth and I are really fortunate that like my weaknesses are Elizabeth's strengths, and like we kind of like work out really well in terms of like things naturally. Like Elizabeth's very good at like back end stuff, and I'm more like the hype woman. So like it all just kind of works out in terms of like what natural tasks kind of fall into place, and like understanding each other's like the way we work. Like I wait till the last minute to do something. Elizabeth plans things out, and like she understands like Cammie's going to fill in the Google Doc literally 10 minutes before we start. So,
yep.
You know, and I'm like, okay, I know Elizabeth's going to send me like this planning meeting thing for like Q4 for like 3 months later, like, you know, like that kind of stuff. So just understanding how the other one works is really important. So just maybe go ahead and like looking at like some processes or like situations, be like, how would you handle this? And you kind of like talk through things and be like, well, together, this would be the best way for us to handle it, or whatnot like that. Just things like real life examples you could work through and kind of figure it out, like how you will like handle a client, or who's going to be doing most of the design work, who's going to be doing more of like the back end streamlining work, or is a little bit of both, like just making sure you're clear with that.
Yes, for sure. I would say like kind of learning early those strengths and weaknesses, and being able to go into it like head on, knowing like, okay, you do X, Y, and Z, we do A, B, and C, or like I do A, B, C, you do X, Y, and Z, because like those cater to our strengths, because the last thing you want is to partner with someone and you're all really good at exactly the same things, and you all want to do exactly the same things within the business, because then you're left with the hole for all the tasks that no one's going to want to do.
Yeah. And then you're like, well, who the heck's going to do that? And you're like, I don't know. And then you hire somebody. So then it keeps growing, and that's where we are now. So.
Yep. But obviously, Memento Design Studio, if you are even thinking about this, you obviously must like this person and mutually find a lot of interest in each other and see each other's strengths and stuff. So just keep talking about it. I can't remember when this question is from. I honestly think it's from like June of 2020. So maybe you guys have already done this. Like, who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Like, maybe it's already happened, and I can DM you and follow up and see what's going on.
Ooh, let's do. But yeah, you got this. It'll be so fun. You'll enjoy it. So yeah, go listen to that other episode too. You'll definitely find some good tips and tricks in there. But woo, okay. We did it. Q and Cake number 22.
We breezed through it. It's 20 minutes long. It's probably going to be our shortest episode of all time, and that is okay, y'all. That is okay with me.
Whoa.
Because
I'm sorry, what? No way. I cannot deal with you being okay with a 20-minute episode, but I can't think of a funny story to tell for the next 10 minutes. So
yeah, 10 minutes is too long to drag it out. Might as well keep it short and sweet. I know that we're probably going to have a lot of questions about the inventory episode that we just did a little bit ago. So maybe our next Q and Cake will be more weighted towards that. But go ask us more questions, y'all. I feel like we're running out of like tough, hard questions. Have we possibly answered every question in the stationary universe? I don't know. Maybe maybe
no one has any more questions. We're like, yeah, we got this, guys. You can stop now. We know what we're doing now. It's fine.
Oh yeah. Do you know what's wild? If we answer 5 questions for every Q and Cake, and this is the 22nd one, we've answered 110 questions, Cammie.
Oh my Lanta. Like a dictionary.
Yeah, and like some of them are sometimes variations of each other. We have like a couple duplicates that we've decided to like re-answer because we have new information. But yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope Q and Cakes don't die a horrible death because we run out of things to answer.
I think there's always going to be questions, and like we're always kind of like changing our businesses and things are happening. So people are always like, well, what about this? You know, like there's always things to talk about. Although I feel like I just have the same answers all the time, and Elizabeth's always just like, ask an accountant. So
Yep. Good times.
I did want to add a little follow-up though. After we talked to Danielle from Kickstart Accounting, I did end up hiring them, you guys. So I am currently working with them. So it's very exciting. I did it. So we had her on the show. And if you guys listen to that episode, ignoring your numbers is not a strategy. I was like, I would like to hire you now immediately. And so that's kind of cool. So I wonder if any of y'all decided to hire a bookkeeper or hire them afterwards too. So you can follow up with us and let us know. Yeah. I'd be curious to hear.
I know. We would love to hear from you guys. I don't know. Maybe our Q and Cakes will turn into more of our like coaching episodes too, because that's kind of something we've been wanting to do with people. So I don't know, like there could be like a transition. So get your question in now.
Y'all, if you don't, and you know what? I'm just going to say this to you. You can ask fun questions, if you want.
Ask things about like our lives and stuff too, or house renovations, or how we organize, how Cami organizes her office. Like, I don't know, like our favorite paint colors, whatever.
Our favorite paint colors, our favorite movies, which I don't even know what that would be. But you can ask stuff like that too. It doesn't have to be so serious all the time.
Yes, I know.
Throw us some softballs once in a while, guys. You're bringing in taxes and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my Lord, I'm going to screw this up.
I know. All right. Well, y'all are amazing. We are wrapping this episode up today. We will see you next time. And we have a lot of good stuff coming down the pipeline, including some really cool interviews from some amazing creatives. So can't wait to get to those. And we will see you guys then.
Yes, have a good one. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Y'all know we are big on protecting your booty and your biz. So we want to tell you all about our secret weapon for mailing invitations for your clients, the USPS Mailing Agreement. It takes the personal emotions out of stressful situations and lets your clients know exactly what will happen when their invitations go out the door, and it covers you in case anything goes wrong, which, let's be honest, it probably will. I mean, we love you, USPS, but you pray, okay?
Honestly, we've kind of realized that putting a small shipping clause in your contract just isn't enough. Trust us, we know from experience, there are just too many things that can go wrong when mailing. Things like
ripped flaps,
scuffs and scratches,
mishandled envelopes,
postage snafus,
lost invitations never to be seen again,
and rabid, overprotective dogs.
Okay, that was a little bit of a stretch. Calm down
a little bit. Okay.
Anyway, the point is, all of these are things that you cannot control. So why leave the burden of fate up to the United States Postal Service? Protect yourself with our mailing agreement so your client understands exactly what could happen to their invitations in the mail and how those situations are handled. If you've been scared to mail on behalf of your clients, this is the tool you need to add that next level service to your stationery biz.
Go to bizbirthdaybash.com/shop to purchase your copy today at $97. This is a steal. Seriously, you can't live without it.
It's true. Go get it now.